in the building. How you doing? How's everybody doing? Let's get into this episode. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday from me to you. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, sir. Let's get the X. Get that right. What did I say X? We Twitter, man. We don't do the new. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right, IG is good. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Yes, sir. Let's get on to this Facebook. What are we going to do? March Madness and let's get it. Get the Facebook in order. Boom. Okay, we going 3. What's going on with Twitch? Twitch good? We rocked it. It's taking a little bit of time to load, but Twitch looks good. And let's get this. Whoa. So much great programming available right now. So many great pods and channels. Wealth of information. And so YouTube is good as well. Let's get our volume right. Welcome in. SandCity. Volume is good. It is Wednesday. It's a Herbie Derby Wednesday. So we're going to talk about our greats, lift them up. The madness is jumping off tomorrow. Arguably the 2 best days in sports. First 2 days of the NCAA tournament. You know it, I know it. High noon. Get those brackets complete. Had an upset in the World Baseball Championship. We shall discuss. Heck is going on Team USA. Let Venezuela. And they had ball players come and steal the thunder. W.N.B.A. securing a deal. You know that if you're real hoopers out there, you support men's basketball, women's basketball. You know what I mean? Never mind love is basketball. It's always been. You know, we gotta support and lift up. So very encouraging to hear about that deal. Season will start on time. I'm going to go ahead and look at the Oscars. So we're going to get to that last episode. We're going to get to it this episode. All right. I know I haven't been able to see all of these films, but nonetheless, you win an Oscar, and I know there's a debate who wins, who doesn't. You know, every one person you win, you're praising and thanking. You lose and calling people out their name. So that's the way it goes. But we shall look into the Oscars. Certainly happy for Michael B. Jordan. So yeah, SandCity Wednesday night episode, mid-week, passion project. Hope you guys are doing well out there. You know, me Costa, Sue Costa. So you come on in and check in as needed. Hey, you know what this is. Let's go. Hey, welcome to SandCity. To the business. I am your host, King Cod, King artist from North Andre. Thank you so much for Let's run that back. How we doing on this Wednesday? Going up. SandCity. We shall look at this madness Okay, so let's get right to it. Just talking about the madness. And so we will begin right there in college basketball. Let's get that up on the screen. Come back. We're good. And let's get into what's taking place tomorrow. First of all, you want to make sure you have your bracket done, but then also make sure you connect with that man, Warren Buffett. I haven't seen it, but Warren, where's that $1 billion? Where's the $1 billion bet? It's not a bet, right? Because you don't become one of the richest men in the world. Warren been in that category, not the richest, but certainly in the 90s, 2000s, it was he and Bill Gates for it seemed like a good long while. But right, folks in that they don't make bets, okay, without it being clear that a windfall profit is on the way. So Warren Buffett saying he's going to give $1 billion to the perfect bracket, knowing full well the probability of a perfect bracket, and then of course with the acceleration, right? $1 billion, billion is like the new million, as these folks push forward to being the first trillionaires out there. Okay, but Warren, I want to see that report. Even though it might not most likely, okay, it still adds. It adds to. I'm just gonna say the best day in sports. Borrowed that take. Believe that comes from Shaw. Shout out to Around the Horn, okay, of ESPN fame. Don't know why we break things that weren't broken. Why do we dismantle things that weren't broken in the first place? Okay, Around the Horn, ridiculous. Okay, but go. I got to get that brag. I haven't honestly. I'm gonna keep it buck with you. Keep it buck. It's gonna be an early morning. Just getting up and devoting the time. But I always wait to the last minute. Just before to get everything. And then of course I can't just put one bracket in. I got to put 2 and 3. I got to load up on my brackets for each particular. There's like 4 or 5 different groups that I'm a part of, and it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. Last year I was Team Houston, so that I was very close. In all my brackets, Houston didn't end up sealing the deal, but I was 10 toes down with Houston and Kelvin Sampson, to get it done. This year, I mean, yeah, I can, again, just the hurling connection. I'm born in the great state of New Jersey, so the St. Anthony's feeling is strong. So UConn for me, and that bracket, UConn as a 2, Duke as a number 1 seed, St. John's in the mix. Oh, goodness. I'm a little upset that all, you had to put Duke and UConn in the same, right? Nothing against the Michigans, the Arizonas of the world. These are the top teams, but I need UConn over there. And look, I'm getting, because yes, obviously I'm locked in with the sports, but I'm gonna keep. I was refereeing a lot. Okay, January was bananas. It's a beautiful thing. January, early February, going into winter vacation, which ended up being a 2-week odyssey with the snowmageddon that we had. But I couldn't lock in. It was busy time. It was, I'm not complaining. I got get-to jobs. I don't have the got-tos. I got the get-to jobs. Right? That's what my man Ernie says. Borrowed that from Ernie inside the NBA. I don't got get-tos. I got, I don't have got-tos. I have get-tos. I love my jobs. Work in education. All right. Do things in the community, civic groups. And I referee. All right. So, I mean, what do they say in the Harbaugh family? Okay. Who's got it better than us? Right. Jobs are jobs. Much as you like doing it, you got to prepare. That's Coach K. It's the will to prepare. You got to be on time, and you got to, doing a good job. It's hard. It should be hard. Okay, but again, you always got to take that step back and say, man, I enjoy what I do. At the end of the day, Had a lot of different jobs, entry level. I'm trying to do this, that, and third. Enjoy what I do, so I'm gonna be grateful. What does that have to do with the NCAA tournament, folks? Okay, it's not an excuse, but I want to get to that point in my life where I can have the job or the part-time job, but then be able to devote equivalent time to what I love to do. Okay, enjoy my jobs. Fortunate, if I have my druthers, in education, what happens? Teacher takes a sabbatical, right? Teacher would take a sabbatical, meaning they would take a semester and just write. They would write their novel, their textbook in that semester. Oh, you're sitting on the couch watching Jerry Springer. No. These hours that I would have been devoting to teaching, all right, to lesson planning, the meetings, the emails, all the one, we can go back and forth on this. I enjoy what I do, but it's changed. Listen to a lot of teacher, blogs or follow, but it's like any other job. You got but your job, it's the job, and then there's all those other things attached to it. It takes up a lot of your time. Okay, that's what it is. So we want to get that work-life balance where we can, devote, back to this. I want to, love the Jay Billis of the world and all the different commentators surrounding college basketball, doing an outstanding job. Appreciate the fact, got the Inside the NBA crew that has added their own kind of marinara, their own, and there was a little bit of tension. Oh, these guys aren't college. No. Okay, the more the merrier. Stop that. Ernie and the NBA crew coming and doing the NCAA tournament, just overdue. Should have been happening from the beginning. Forget all this territorial nonsense. All right. Yes, sure. That the college guys, Billis, others, some of these names just get on, Raftery, they're embedded in college. It's different than the NBA. So they have that core understanding knowledge. Sure. But they don't have what the Chuckster has. They don't have what Shaq Adamas has. Ernie, Kenny. All right. And obviously, they might not be locked in. Okay. It's just great. I love, and I was refereeing. Actually, no. I can't make that excuse. I had schoolwork. on Sunday. So I love bracketology. Like, I need to go back. Frankly, I should go back and watch bracketology before I make my doggone brackets. But just love how they just know these teams and this mid-major with this player, and they run this system. And so, yeah, want to get there. Okay, so let's folks, we okay. And this graphic, shout out to Clutch Points. You know what I mean? We cite our sources on SandCity. Shout out to Clutch Points. Really good graphic here. Okay. And my team, W.N.B.A, you know what this is when we talk about AJ. W.N.B.A. Okay, point of pride over here. Cooper Flagg is a point of pride. He's from Maine. Folks. We're going to get to Cooper. I might have to, hold on. We might have to get, okay. We might have to get this for you on the screen so you can see the roots. And I didn't even realize this. Quietness is kept. Brian Scalabrine should be credited, with discovering Cooper Flagg. Scala. Let's get this graphic up on the screen right quick as we're talking about the pride that we have in the Commonwealth. We'll switch over and then we'll come back. Here we go. Cooper Flagg is thankful. And we're going to come back to the NCAA tournament. But I got to talk about how the pride that we got around here in the Commonwealth. Mr. W.N.B.A, the young lion, what he's doing. No, I can't do the A5 file. So we're going to stop this now. I want to come back. All right, so let's get our artwork so we can switch gears. We're going to talk about Cooper for a quick second. Then we're going to come back to 8. No. Don't play with me. Don't play with me now. I'm getting my graphics right. Don't mess around with this. So we can bring it for the people. But As we, I'm still right. Can I? Me. Oh, now it just ruined. I had the graphic, and then I had to do one extra thing, and it freaking ruined it. So now we got the bad. Okay, can we? All right, and now I gotta. Nah. See if this works. All right, I got the graphic. I'm sorry. We got to, because we're gonna come back to AJ. Why would we come back? I'm already on this point. See, sometimes I get the scat. I'm sorry. But that's every time I put it out there, man. That's Brockton, Massachusetts, right there. It's the Boxers. That young W.N.B.A. That's all the way across the country. Okay, lined up to be number 1 overall pick, right? Which is another intriguing part of this tournament. We don't know who the number 1 overall pick is. This man over here, young Darius, like the king of Persia over here, playing for the Don out there. And I gotta go back, man. Is and now I'm telling on myself, but I don't mind telling on myself. This Razorbacks team, I gotta feel like DeJuan Wagner Jr. is still in college. I feel like Wani is still in college. DeJuan Wagner Jr., former number 1 overall prospect, NBA player. People might remember his dad, DeJuan Wagner, class of 01, 100 points, Camden High School. What? I feel like the young Wagner, Garden State is still at Arkansas playing for Don Calipari. Dangerous team. Speaking of people with something to prove, Don Calipari, people sleeping on his game management, adjustments, so on and forth. What am I talking about here, folks? What I'm saying is this number 1 overall pick, it's up in the air. The talent is undoubted. But we got a clip that we're going to play in Slice of Life. Kendrick Perkins says this A-Cuff, he got to be number 1. W.N.B.A, number 1 pick. Boozer over here, number 1 pick. Cole Pete, number 1 pick. Turn this volume down here. It's a busy night. Fantasy baseball draft. I was swindled out of the tournament in basketball. So baseball, I'm taking it out during the baseball season. Doggone right, you're going to see me in the finals. I'm going to talk about this. Connor. Already they talking trash. I'm going to put this for you on the screen. Some of the trash they're talking in the fantasy league about. I set my lineups. You don't set your lineup one time, all of a sudden you're a pariah. And these fantasy people have no sympathy for the working out here long. You know what I mean? You don't set the lineup one day and they never let you forget it. Your fantasy managers know you miss one day of the week. That's basically you lost the matchup. You miss that one day, you miss 4 or 5 games of your top players, you lose a whole matchup. But you can't miss one day? What? You can't, I'm doing this. I'm making the egg salad sandwich over here. I gotta go put gas in the car. I gotta go, get Willis, the dog more. I'm doing all these things. I don't set my lineup. It's one day. They won't let me get over it. Okay. But I'm feeling good in the we just had the draft, but we're gonna talk Connor Griffin. Connor Griffin, top prospect, playing for the Pirates. I had to scoop him. I had the number 3 overall pick. Mookie was there. Mookie Betts was. I was Mookie. It's my man. It's Mookie. Boston Red Sox right there. I know he's doing what I had to. I said, this kid Connor Griffin. I looked it up. They said he gonna be ready from day 1. Shortstop for the Pirates. So it's not going to be this year, but I'm thinking 2-3 years down the line. And I got Junior Caminera. I got Junior. That was a young line I picked up. So I got some young talent that's and I'm going to set my lineups and be successful. Let's come back to the NCAA tournament, folks. Any fantasy folks out there, you got stories, let me know. You know, it's a tough business. It's a tough racket. It's good, you know, connection, socialization, all the rest of that stuff. But these guys with the slander, they got to stop. Doggone right, I'm first in the pre-draft rankings. They're talking about I'm first in the pre-draft rankings, but then I finished in the lottery. These guys have no. It's getting crazy how they slander. I mean, we're going to have an update when I take the fantasy baseball by storm. Let's come back to the NCAA tournament. We don't. Okay, I'm saying we. I don't know. I'm not sure out there. I know Chris. He's Team Patterson. That's the guy. You know, it's just established. Me, you already know. I got this young man from Kansas or Prolific Prep. You know, the next one up from Prolific Prep. I have my reservations about. I do. I'm sorry. I'm not Team Patterson under any. I'm not gonna say under any circumstances because that is my point. If this young Patterson comes out for Kansas, who's got a second round, folks, oh my goodness. Oh my, we don't know until we know. What am I saying? We got a St. John's, Kansas second round matchup. What? Bill Self, Rick Pitino, 4-5 matchup, second round out west. And I'm telling you right now, I'm making it known right now. My man Josan Sanan is going at this kid. I'm Team Josan Sanan. He gonna give Patterson the business. I said what I said. We come back to this episode. I'm Team St. John's in that matchup. Go get him. What? You groin? You cramping up? Are you okay? What are we even talking about right here with this young man? All of this foolishness. We played the clip before. Chris, chime in on this. Talk about Patterson. He's your guy. Go ahead. Say what you need to say. I just can't understand it as my youth. You know what I mean? I'm holding on to the youth, right? Trying to stay youthful, fresh and free, all that good stuff. Not as young as I used to be. You know, one of the things I learned stuck with me. I got to appreciate it more and more. He said, your health, if you have your health, you have wealth. If you have your health, you have wealth. Health is wealth. I'm all, poking my lip out, looking, inflation in the core. Well, I'm not going to go down that. But we know, there's certainly things that's going on. But if you have your health, you have wealth. That's something you don't always appreciate, particularly when you're younger, and you're in your prime. It just flows so naturally. You have your health, you have wealth. Okay. So, fortunate to be mostly healthy, aches and pains here and there, a little bit hard to get up in the morning and get it rolling, but mostly I'm good for that. What's the point? The point, I'm coming from this. By the way, I had a Sandlot reference. Shout out to the Sandlot. Y'all awesome 80s babies. Y'all 90s folks know. Shout out to the Sandlot. I had a Squints remembrance the other day. We was talking okay. That's what I need to see. I keep getting this kid's name wrong. I call him Patterson. It's Peterson. Shameful. That bothers me. We're gonna get to. There's a situation. We're gonna discuss the Kenyon Martin situation that took place. I got my thoughts on that. Patterson. His name is Peterson. It's no good. I gotta get names right. It's ridiculous. It's like one of these. It's just no bueno. I know I'm. But my bad. All right, we move on. If he goes out 30 point, and balls out and they lose, I'll take a step back. We go through the receipts. I'll take accountability, 100% accountability. I don't think it's going to happen. My man Joe Son, clank, clank, he locking him up. He clank, clank. My man Adelson from the men's league. He said, hey, when we come out, oh, those are the best days. Oh, I get my men's league remembrances. And I'm still going in the men's league. The turnovers are high then and now. But, hey, I'm still going. But we used to be hooping in 2-3 leagues. I mean, we was just out there hooping every week, getting 2 games in. We would travel up the road to hang on. We was hooping. Games in Mashpee, we was hooping. It takes time, and everybody's schedules are busy and all the rest of that. I get it. But it's well worth it. You don't stop playing because you get old. You get old because you stop playing. I borrowed that from J-Mac. Shout out to J-Mac. Straight fire. In the hurt. Oh, I miss. You know what I mean? Oh, that's the thing. I love my vacation. When I get to the summer and I can just get back into my programs heavy. Oh, can't wait. And the Cape League too. It's going down. But I remember when my man Adelson, we was hooping. He said, "Okay, they made a little run to start." He said, "Enough's enough." That man over there, clink, he on lockdown. Don't throw him. He locked down. You don't want it no more. We locking him down. Don't even need no help. You nothing. All contested shots, bricks. We out. Shout out to the Wareham Vikings here in the Commonwealth Division, state champions in their division. I think this is Division 4. Okay. Talking about today in the barbershop. You know what I mean? Yeah, I had to get the line. I had to, a barber, it was over at Blake's Barbershop. Shout out to Blake's Barbershop. Great folks over there. Had to get my line up. I said, man, I got to get my line straight today. Feeling good, man. You say, folks, you better. I said, folks, hey, I know it's not COVID, but you better stand 6 feet back. You better stand 6 feet back right now. Because this line so sharp, you're about to get cut. Stand 6 feet back from your boy as I walk into the run. Got the fresh line. Okay, geometry right. Stand back. You might get cut. It is what it is. Okay, so I was at the barbershop today. We were just talking. Shout out to the Vikings, state champs. Our state tournament this year in Massachusetts was bonkers. A number 14 seed, won Division 1. Young man who's a baseball Division 1 cadet, Brody Balinga. I'm mispronouncing names all over the place. Young man, we're gonna call him just Brody. We're gonna call young Brody from Bishop Fien. People in the Commonwealth know who he is. I'm out here mispronouncing it. It's just crazy, getting names wrong. And I'm an English history person, so this is even more. We can't do you can't get the grammar right. It's just crazy. But this young man went on a tear that we haven't seen in 40 years. I said 40 years. Never mind the number 14 seed winning the state championship. Never mind the fact they beat the number 1 seed in the championship. They beat the number 2 seed in the semifinals. They beat the number 3 seed in the round of 16. Crazy run that they went on. But this young man was averaging 40 and like 20 rebounds, averaging. Dominant. And we haven't seen this in mass since Dana Barros. Oh, yes. Zavarian High School. Dana Barros was averaging, he averaged 50 points. Because this is something here on the Cape and Barnstable that the people brag about. That we, Barnstable, the Red Raiders, held Dana Barros to 35 points. Or 38, I think it was. I remember when I was young coming up, Hoop Dreams, people would talk about this. We held Dana Barros to 38 points. He was averaging 50. And I'm 10 toes. I'm no 3-point line, folks. No 3-point line. No 3-point line. And Dana Barros was the forerunner. Go ahead and educate yourself on Teddy Dupay. Florida Gators. 2000 of Mike Miller fame, losing to them Flint boys from Michigan State. Go ahead and educate yourself on Teddy Dupay, one of the all-time leading scorers in the state of Florida. Go ahead and educate yourself. You know Udonis Haslam, who he used to lose to from at Mariner High School to UD in the state championship in Florida. Then they connected to be on the same team to go to that national championship game, losing to the Flint boys. Udonis Haslam had a long, successful NBA career. You know Udonis. You don't know Teddy Dupay. Educate yourself on that man. Bad. You know Wojciechowski from Duke, you know what I mean? But 5'9", 5'10", bad. Mama Jamma. A bad Mama Jamma. Got to go look it up. I don't know if he's still the all-time leading scorer, top 10, whatever the case may be. I bring up Teddy Dupay. I bring up Dana Barros. These jokers was pulling up. You see how Steph Curry plays? They was giving you Steph Curry in the early 2000s before it was a thing. Before this league that we playing where it's okay to shoot three-pointers from 2 feet above, right? Them Damian Lillard game-winner three-pointers from Bennett. That's where Dana Barros was pulling up from mid-80s to get his 50 points a game. I come over half court, I'm in range. And Teddy Dupay was the same thing. As soon as I get over half court, I'm raining it down on you. And this was before the Steph Curry revolution. Before that. Woo! Why? What does this have to do? I'm telling you, this young man, Brody Belinga, I got to give the last name one more opportunity. And we're going to see it in Slice of Life. He just went on a tear. Historic. Crazy. So it has to be mentioned. It has to be mentioned. But what's the connection, right? I talked about the Wareham Vikings. I talked about my man Addison. What I'm saying to you folks is I got St. John's locking down young Darren. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he not ready for this Big East basketball that he got coming for him. Do I want anybody, is the Cape Cod kid, am I player hating, right? He said, Punisher, at the air, right? I ain't player hating over here. I ain't player hating on nobody. I want everybody to have their moment, their one shining moment. That's what I want. But I'm saying, me, I feel some type of way. St. John's, clink, clink. We putting that Big East defense on Mr. Peterson. And what? Playing that Big 12 finesse. No. Marquee matchup. Now, hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Hey, Chris, you know what to find me. Chris, come and bring in the good marinara. Anybody, me, Costa, you're welcome on SandCity. Come through. We talking NCAA tournament. It's going down tomorrow. Get your takes in right now. Come on in. But I'm with the Johnnies, baby. I'm with the Johnnies. But such a great, and Patino, goodness. We talked about it. He has to make the Sweet 16. He has to do it. 2 straight Big East championships. Rick, you got to break through. How you have to go through Calipari 1 year and Bill Self the next year just to get to the Sweet 16? What are you doing to Patino? I can't see them in the Sweet 16. I got to see them in the second round 2 years in a row? Goodness. You're going to have either a great coach. I'm giving Patino greatness. Yes, he's had problems, no doubt about it, but he's picked himself up off the canvas, and the man is back. He's back. Have to respect it. No, he had the issues. Not shying away from that in any way, shape, or form. He shouldn't have been handling himself like he was conducting himself. I don't want to hear, I know. A lot of pressure, and you're right. You got to deal with it a different way. You got to, hey, man, go get your therapy in, right? Higher power, okay? Get your prayer life right, okay? Just because you're in these high leverage positions does not give you the right to act a fool. Doesn't. I put M.A. in that conversation as well. Yes, I said what I said. I'm happy for M.A. and what's going on with the Rockets. Happy. He was acting a fool here in Boston. I said what I said. It hurts my heart because I don't like when people that pull themselves up. M.A. had pulled himself up. He could have, would have, should have been a coach on that Brooklyn team. He had to wait. You had a Brooklyn team that didn't need a coach with Steve Nash as a puppet coach, but that had Mike D'Antoni to run the offense, Ime Udoka to run the defense, and Jacques Vaughn just around. Had 3 head coaches on a team that didn't need coaching, according to Kyrie. And your buddy there, Steve Nash, the buddy coach, the podcast man. All right. Again, they could have had Kenny Atkinson as well. Bananas. But M.A. pulled himself up by his bootstraps to get the opportunity with the Celtics to take the team to the doggone NBA Finals, and now he's going to be strong-arming people? What are you doing? What are you doing? After you grinded so much to get to that point, now you're going big-time people and act a fool? No, you're wrong. You're wrong. All right, and I feel the way because you should know better. You should know better because you've been that other person. You've been the long shot. We're going to get Eric Spoelstra on the screen for you in a second. The video manager, Eric Spoelstra, not arguably one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. He's been so, you know what I mean? He found the right organization that let him be himself and grow and contend. He's, right? Taking 8 seeds to the NBA Finals multiple seasons. What are we talking about here? Eric Spoelstra. Taking 8 seeds to the finals like it's no thing. We forget about it because they didn't win the finals. What are they doing in the finals as an 8 seed? In the play-in, no doubt, no less. That's coaching, that's culture, that's craziness. Never mind, Mazzulla didn't have no help because of the M.A. situation. He ain't have no brain trust. I digress. But you act a fool, you deserve some consequences. Okay? Both M.A., Patino, I don't care. You should have known better. Don't give me the pressure on me. Dog on it. You need to go to an in and out. You need to get away from the pressure and just be a regular person if it's killing you like it's getting crazy like that. If it's getting crazy, step away from the madness. Please, it'll be there when you get back. And get your mind right. Okay? Get some humility, get some faith in you. But I'm happy. Patino, he fell. Hit that canvas, picked his behind back up. Iona, what? Had Iona out there hooping in the tournament? Who? People in the tri-state, know Iona, but heck is Iona? Iona, unassuming mid-major on the outskirts of the city. Patino has them hooping. Then he comes back to the Mecca where, and has St. John's hooping. That's the whole point of this segment right here. That's the whole point. Sink or swim. And it's for the coaches. And yes, for me, it's for the playoffs. This Peterson, I don't care. I don't care. You better lock in for this weekend, for this mini tournament. Period. He goes MI, and you can, again, Chris, this is not people, but if he goes MIA for this mini tournament, hey, who knows? Who knows? Whatever. But fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Since when in sports? NIL, when do you not have to do your job to be considered the best at your job? Hey, man. We're making them jump like Rod Strickland over here. Wait a second here, man. 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 What are we doing? What are we doing over here, folks? We got to put that back on the screen. He said make them jump like Rod Strickland. What? Take it longer. I didn't even see this. He just said that late 90s flow. Go watch Rod Strickland coming out of the... What? Go ahead, Rod. Take it to the tournament. Folks, I'm sorry. When this came out spring, and I'm dating myself, when this was out spring 97, what? This beat came out, that was, oh my goodness. I know what to do with myself. Freshman year, what? Hey, when your boy was in his, oh my goodness, when I was in my rum springer, when he said I'm born atomically, the Socrates philosophies and hypotheses. Oof, man, I think back now. And bring it back, that bring, you know what I'm saying? He make him jump like Rod Strickland. What? Happy to see it. Coaches, these former players, imparting that knowledge and moving up, right? Long Island University now, just say grow where you planted and then get that next opportunity. So if these folks don't, Rod Strickland's a bad man. Like on the low too. Like he was just like smooth and just but undercover, because he's playing with the Isaiahs and the Magics, and you come into the 90s, he was just, who Rod Strickland reminds me of, different, but just how the street game and the professional game was seamless, is Jamal Crawford. He didn't, because Rod wasn't a pure scorer, but just make him, and I think, honestly, and people, Rod Strickland is a forerunner to Kyrie Irving. He just is. That's the better comparison. He was giving you Kyrie, right? When people talk about how Kyrie, his handles, gets to spots, finishes with that English, playing below the rim, but just smooth and just making people miss. Right? It's not just about the bucket. It's like I embarrassed you in the midst. I can't just get a bucket. I have to embarrass you while getting buckets. I'm not satisfied with just scoring. Okay, I got to take you out the frame while I score. That Rod Strickland. Like, you can't be in the frame. I got to shift you out the frame, then I can score. If I can't do that first, I got to back up and go at you again. Right? If I could have scored, but you were like contesting, back up to half court. We got to run this back again. I got to sprint at him again and get him out the frame. That Rod Strickland, that long, I can't wait to see that. Oh, I'm going to be locked in this weekend. Yes. But we're not leaving the point that the point of fact here, folks. And it's for the coaches that have that. Obviously, you don't have, but there's folks on the hot seat. Let's remember, right? Let's remember Tony Bennett, Virginia. I'm not saying I'm not calling these coaches NIL or transfer portal casualties. Even though in large part we lost some greats, Jay Wright. What do you think? Jay Wright, Tony Bennett. Matt Painter is still going at Purdue. But those Jay Wright and Tony Bennett should still be coaching college basketball. I don't care. I don't care. They should still be coaching, period. It's a loss for everybody that they're not coaching. And we can get into, I know it's completely, and it reflects, we'll discuss that. But the fact is, it's a loss for everyone. We don't have those guys on the sideline. But the point that I'm getting at is Tony Bennett, Virginia, loses in the first round 1 year, national championship next year. Matt Painter, Purdue, with that Zach Edey, who was balling, by the way. Zach Edey's a ball player. I rock with Zach Edey. I know Memphis is down. When they get back, Zach Edey's going to be a part of it, period. Matt Painter, Purdue, Zach Edey, lose in the first round as a 1 seed, head to the national championship next year. Okay? There's only 2 things in sports: Right, folks? Winning and misery. Yeah. Pat Riley. Yeah, two things. Winning and misery. Yeah. It's hurtful. There you go, Rob Pelinka. There you go, Rob Pelinka right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about when I cite what happened to the Celtics in when they got mad dogged in 23, when they got mad dogged by Miami. Yes, I know they didn't have Drew Holiday yet, right? That was, sure. Okay. Was it hold on. The Celtics last year was OKC, 25. 24 is the Celtics. 23 was the Nuggets. 23 is when they got mad dogged. Yeah, Missoula didn't have no help. He didn't have no help. After the M.A. situation, like he didn't have help. You're not going to go toe-to-toe with Spoelstra unless you have a brain trust. So that's Rob Pelinka. That's a steal right there. Bringing in Tony Bennett to help JJ and JJ's been holding his own. JJ's been holding. I cannot believe the Lakers are not in the play-in. Never mind winning games with JJ Redick as the coach. I cannot believe this. All the drama that's going, and the Lakers were out of the play-in last year. It's crazy that JJ, he's doing a really good job. You know how hard it is not to be in the play-in in the West with all that talent? So moves like that, everybody can't get along. That's everybody can't like each other. You know what I mean? Like, and we go through this, right? You go through it at your job, everybody micromanaging everybody else. And it's important. These things are important, but sometimes it's just trivial and stupid. Right. I take part in it as well. I'm not pointing fingers, point the finger at my doggone self. But where I'm going with this is it's just unfortunate that Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson couldn't work together. And the Lakers organization wasn't big enough for the both of them. Magic, brought Rob in, and it got to a point, and he didn't like the way it was going, so Magic bounced. It's unfortunate. But Rob Pelinka has done his doggone thing, running the Lakers. He just has. Obviously a bubble championship, but then keeping them, right? And then he was gifted Luka, and now he's building around Luka. So stuff like that, right? Brad Stevens, after the M.A. debacle, right? Loaded Missoula up with talent. And by the way, I said it last year. I'm still not over them trading Drew or letting Drew go. I don't give a dog on about the second apron. I'm not hearing it. You don't give away a dynasty. Now the Celtics are balling right now. People, they need Drew. I'm happy for the Celtics. I'm not if they go ahead and break through and make it to the finals this year, or maybe win the finals. Great. Okay, I will eat crow happily. They need Drew. Baloney getting rid of Drew Holiday. Baloney. No, I don't care what the analytics say. I know they're playing good right now. I know they got Tatum back. I know that they need Drew. All right. Now, what does that have to do with coaching? Okay. Last year when they had Drew, they needed Charles Lee, Jeff Van Gundy. Charles Lee, what's going on in Charlotte? Who's their coach? Yeah, Charles Lee. Yeah, that Coach Bud assistant. Yeah. That Brad Stevens went out and got first thing after the doggone debacle in 23. When you go down 3-0 to the Miami Heat team that doesn't even have Tyler Hero, then you win three straight games. Derek White with the tap at the end. Then you get blown out on your home floor in Game 7. What are you doing? Joe needs help. Go out and get Charles Lee. Go out and get Sam Cassell. Go out and get Emil Jefferson of Duke, pedigree. And then go out and get Jeff Van Gundy, by the way, as a special consultant, because ESPN had no business letting go of him in the first place. Yeah, we loading up the brain trust. What do you get? Historic season, championship. You let Jeff Van Gundy be headhunted by Daddy Warbucks, Steve Ballmer out there in L.A. Right? Just like Daddy Warbucks headhunted Jerry West when he was with Golden State. I'm making you an offer you cannot refuse. You ain't refusing this offer. I don't care. I don't care how loyal you are. I don't care how many pictures you got with you know what I mean? I'm making the Godfather offer. You're coming with me. You are coming with me. Yeah. That offer that got Lincoln Riley to leave Oklahoma. West Virginia. I know it's right. I always listen to some John Depp. I rock with it. You know what I mean? That good middle America, right? You know what I mean? Just hard. I'm you know, USC came through with a Godfather deal. You got that private jet on lock. You and your family, whenever you need it, man. Not just for recruiting, for you. For you. Y'all, your family, y'all need to go to Cabo, and we got it. Come get on the jet. We giving you 1% of 1%. We giving you a little access, right? All right, because a lot of times it's crazy. Like working class people, we're working class, but I'm happy, I'm good. And you don't need things until you know some things are out there. It's like, oh man, it's crazy. Never have to fly commercial again. By the way, that's the most humbling thing. People that travel out there, right? And I got family and I travel. Travel is a beautiful thing, and don't get me twisted. But doggone it, when you travel commercial and you got to go, I mean, what occurred to me, and again, travel is wonderful. I know it's bro, you ain't special. That's what occurs to me when I travel, bro. You know what I mean. I'm thankful. I'm healthy. That's not what I'm saying. But when you just travel and you just gotta, take your shoes off, bro. You go through the TSA. That's when I get. Don't mess with them TSA. Don't shoot. They say, how high, sir? I don't want no smoke going through the TSA. You need shoes? Hey, take them. And I'm really particular about this. Has to be here. That has to go when I travel. TSA say you go ahead and get it. Right? And I'm not. You travel. You're sitting in the middle seat. Fortunately, when I've traveled, I haven't people just been going crazy. When you see, I can't go on social media sometimes. People just losing their minds. Since when do we just fight on planes like, you know what I mean? People just fighting on planes like it's not even, like, don't you have to go to jail? Isn't that a felony? Like, you're going to jail. You were supposed to go on a trip, and whatever somebody did, you're going to say, forget the trip. I'm happy to be going to jail now. I don't get it. And if you remember, out of the pandemic, I think that's a pandemic thing coming, because after we finally was locked up and then people could finally travel, people were just going crazy. And we gotta come off of that a little bit more. But yeah, I travel commercial. I loved it. I mean, I'm not making it like I'm walking 10 feet barefoot in the snow. I'm just not first class, and I'm not in a private jet, and I get where I need to get to, and I'm good. But again, if you knew what the 1%, right, a tradition unlike any other is coming up, is it not? The Masters. I remember at the Super Bowl, they were saying that they had of how many private jets were leaving. They had the graphic, how many private jets were going to go from the, blasting off to their next destination. You read different books talking about like those folks, they live in the air. And when they're talking amongst themselves, so where are you? Oh, I'm in Beijing. Where are you? Oh, I'm in Berlin. Where are you? Sao Paulo. Where, you know what I mean? They live. I'm here. They just, right? Yeah, and that's kind of the way that they live, and that's fine. I'm not. Oh no, that's their level. They have a right to it. My level is, commercial. And a lot of time I just get in the car. I love a good road trip and go. It's not the point. One versus the other. The point is if you had access to the other. That's the point. And these organizations saying, listen, this is the guy, he's the talent, and we're going, whatever they're offering, we're just going to make an offer in a whole different stratosphere. It's not even about, 90 million versus 8. I mean, by the way, it's a throwback. You know that Adidas could have had LeBron James, but they lowballed him? Go ahead and watch the Soul Man 30 for 30 gold. Sonny Vaccaro. Crazy. They lowballed LeBron. Like, you got to show and prove. What are you doing? Nike said, here's $90 million, kid. Come with us. Adidas wants to pinch pennies, and he was Team Adidas. He went to ABCD camp, and y'all want to pinch pennies over here? All right? How did that go? Check out Soul Man. I remember that specifically. And Adidas, I was like, man, 90 million to this 18-year? Yeah, Nike's like, gladly 90 million. Gladly 90 million. And then on this point, back to Sonny Vaccaro, the Soul Man, that kid from Wilmington, Carolina, coming out in the 84 draft, looking at, Michael, he wanted to be Converse. That was Dr. J. You know what I mean? I wanted to be Nike. Y'all selling what? Tennis shoes? Running shoes? Nike? Who? What? What? No, I'm going with Converse. And Nike said, they said to Sonny Vaccaro, okay, so we got this much money for Akeem Olajuwon. We got this much money for Charles Barkley. Sonny Vaccaro said, you take all that money and you give it to Michael Jordan. What are you doing? But we're going to go over. But take the money and give it to Jordan. Shut up. How'd that work out for him? We ain't pinching pennies over here when we know we got greatness. When it's, right? What's the point back to college sports? Lincoln Riley, USC people, we securing a bag. Steve Ballmer to bring Jerry West from Golden State, built that dynasty, come back to the Clippers, put them in by all indicators, had Kawhi, had Paul George, had the team in the buck, and it just didn't work out. Kawhi couldn't be healthy, whatever. But back to the Celtics, Jeff Van Gundy, Clippers gave him that extra level. Gone. And so I stick with that. I stay with that. That's that Celtics team blowing those 20-point leads to form. I gotta say formally. No, I'm not gonna say formally. I'm still rooting for the Knicks, but I can't cheer because Tibbs ain't there like I really want to. Yeah, that comes down to you need some of that brain trust, not number crunchers in an office. You need people to help you in real time, not algorithms. So shout out to the Lakers for giving JJ the support so that they can. I said it, with the Lakers, if they're gonna be locked in and leave the drama aside, then OKC, yes, OKC, forget your injuries. OKC, San Antonio, Denver, and Houston, y'all are on there. Notice. If LeBron and Luka come in together to go out there and bust somebody's behind, if LeBron and Luka come in locked in together, all those teams can fall. All those teams can fall. Yes. Luka on the outside, LeBron on the inside. However, either interchangeable. LeBron can be on the perimeter. Go down there and give it to Luka. Or who? Lou Dort? You a defender? Get that barbecue going. Light up the fire. Okay, you ain't stopping a motivated Luka in the playoff. Period. In the story. Lou Dort disrespectful. How'd that work out last year when Chet Holmgren tried to guard Joker? Please. Please. Throw Chet in here, iHeart, whoever. Joker was like, stop. Y'all getting 40 with special sauce. Just come along for the ride. Y'all ain't even, please. Just take this 40 piece. You want to talk back, it might be 50. Please. Mad dogged him. Joker said all this OKC, and he was angry from the year before when Minnesota interrupted their dynastic era. So he come into that underdog. I don't care. I'm the best player on this court. Y'all ain't got nothing for me. Yes, including you, Shai Gilgeous out. You ain't got nothing for me. Had OKC on the ropes last year. All right. So that's what this is about. Okay. I need to see it, especially from the rooks. And I don't want to hear no excuses. You're going to be top picks, yada, yada, yada. But where you get picked, in my mind, is going to be determined on how you show improve under some pressure. All right. And for those that have been ducking the smoke, ducking the pressure, you keep after it. Hey, yeah, I'm feeling like you Ace Billy. Nothing wrong with Ace Billy, but you ain't no doggone top pick. That's just me. You ain't no doggone top pick. Period. We shall see. Tournament NCAA March Madness kicking off. Just over 12 hours. Just over 12 hours as SandCity locks in on this Wednesday night check-in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So before... Yeah. So I talked about... I was going to say the Flagg Man, which is a local business here on the Cape. Good folks. By the way, shout out to the Flagg Man for putting together this SandCity, this extra comfortable SandCity joint. So we feeling ourselves. We're feeling good in the Commonwealth and in New England in general. We're feeling good, folks. Because we got the young lion from last year. Got the young lion and we got a young lion this year. So Cooper, Pride of Maine, out there in Maine, and then AJ the band to the Pride of Brockton. Okay, I know he's out, but the Pride of Brockton. With Cooper, who, he's from Maine, but he took his talents to Montvert, right? And he was on Team USA early on in the process. But I wasn't aware, and of course, that's the white Mamba right now. That's Scalabrini, his brother Ace next to him. Respect how when they were on the EYBL circuit, they played. Cooper did not play U17. He played U16. He stayed with his group. He didn't play up. He stayed with his group. Same thing for the Boozer brothers. They didn't play up. They stayed, which worked out, right? You don't always have to be the 14-year-old playing against 18-year-olds and skip steps. You don't. You don't. Shout out to the Flagg Man, SandCity, right? Plenty sneaks with the design. Plenty sneaks. Shout out. And the Flagg Man with the silky, you know what I mean? The comfortable joint. Okay? But the story before, he became a supernova was Scalabrini has a grassroots team. He had a daughter coming up through the ranks that was a good player. So you would see him at some of the girls' games with his daughter. And then, I don't know if it was his son or he just wanted to coach. He just wanted to, coach. He saw all the grassroots and how it was going and all the ups and downs and all around. And he said, I want to get involved in them and be a positive influence. So he put his team together and he took them on the road. So I think their name is the White Mamba. To go back and double check. It's getting to be grassroots season, so I'll go back and double check that. But the story is that, he was getting reports from the people that there's this kid in Maine, that you got to check out. He's like, Maine? He's like, you kidding me? They play basketball? He's like, yeah, there's this kid. I mean, what? Maine? He's like, all right, send him down. And he's like 13 at the time. I believe he was 13, like 12, 13, maybe 14, but I think he was like 12, 13. And they're like, there's this kid that's 12, 13, and he's playing with, I believe it was the University of Maine, because I don't know how many universities up there, but he's playing with the college in the open runs. This 13-year-old is out here running with these college guys and holding his own. He's good. He's legit good. Like, not just a gangly kid from the north. He's good. Brian Scalabrini, all right, send this kid down. I got to see this kid. He's all right, send him down. So, all right, So sent Cooper down here to the Commonwealth, right, to one of the facilities they was working out at. And he's like, yeah. So he shows up and he's like putting his shoes on. And Scalabrini's like, you need time to put up some shots. You need to stretch. He's like, no. He's like, so the kid stood up, like took a couple dribbles and then just threw it off the backboard and he's like, I'm ready. And 13, 14 years old, Scalabrine said he was running with the U17 kids and just working them out. Like, just, it caught, like, Scalabrini was like, yo. And then as the story goes, he got on the phone, and because he's Scalabrini, he called the people at Team USA, and I believe he might have called the people at Duke. But definitely Team USA said, look, you got to check this kid out. They're like, man, hey, your boy Scal calling, the White Mamba, just give him a look. And the rest is history. Rest is history. So, hey, things, right? If you got talent, they're going to find you some kind of way. But for him to be on the radar early on, right, as he's 13, 14, going to Montvert, and having that number 1 ranking at a young age, maintaining it and kind of living up to the hype. White Mamba. And you're right. You don't hear that story a lot. I wouldn't have known the story unless I saw an obscure link or an obscure clip. So on and forth. So it's good. You help somebody else out. You help yourself out. And you go from there. Dallas is hunting for another top pick. They've punted on this season. Okay, so I want to I gotta do some searching, but we're going to find. Just want to make sure it's not a part of the newer. It's going to be 1 second, and I know I got a couple other things I got to get to. We'll do one more sports segment, then we'll go over. Okay, so now I'm kind of in my mode. Let's try to work this back. But we're gonna all right, very cool. Getting closer to, we're gonna talk about the process. Number of things as I go through these clips we could be talking about. Reminds me, we're gonna I gotta. So we're gonna give it another minute. I don't like the. There it is. Yes, sir. I gotta remember the. Right. When you talk about being tried and true, right? There you go. There you go. That Spolstra. See, we know, right? You don't know the video manager, though. The 20-something video manager that said, "I'm gonna be a coach." Oh, you need to. No. I'm gonna be a coach. You're making what? Pennies to. I'm gonna be a head coach. So, right? Had the vision. By the way, go check out the 2 bills. 30 for 30 gold. That explores this as well. Crazy. Check out the 2 bills. Because Belichick, who's in, a new season, you never know, feast to famine. So Belichick's in a new season. I'm hoping for him that he, finds his way back, right, to his path of coaching. those humble beginnings. Right now, it's I heard a great quote the other day as I was watching some of the great programs. Shout out to Chris Hedges, does a great job in the political space. I know, not always people don't always want to talk politics. I can understand it. Your day is political enough, just getting from point A to point B. So it is what it is. But the quote was, revolutions seem impossible when they begin and inevitable when they end. A revolution appears impossible at the outset and inevitable at the once resolved. Okay, so over here, it's impossible. Kid, video manager, thinks he's going to be an NBA head coach. The critics, the naysayers, right? Always going to have jokes on the sidelines. Right? We know it's not the critic that counts. Shout out to Teddy Roosevelt. Seems impossible in the beginning and inevitable once it happens. Impossible and inevitable. That was a good quote. Shout out to Chris Hedges. It wasn't him that said it. It was one of his guests. If you're... And, Chris Hedges, he's just an author. He's working on a project now, but he wrote I've read a number of his books. Empire of Illusion is awesome. The End of Literacy and the Triumph of Spectacle. Days of Destruction, Days of Revolt is really good. That's a picture book, pictures and then commentary. Just some really great projects that he's been a part of. A lot of respect. A lot of respect for this guy as well. Okay. That's not blaming society for whatever. He's going out and getting the job done. Himself. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So yeah. It's SandCity Passion Project. Wednesday night. Hope everybody out there is doing well. Your boy's doing well. Fortunate. Very fortunate, blessed, and highly favored. For a number of reasons. But to be able to do what I enjoy doing here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But as you know, SandCity Passion Project. I keep saying that. I'll say it again. But every day is we got a theme for every single day of the week, and I'm thrilled that I had the chance to be with you on a Herbie Derby Wednesday. Thrilled that I got a chance to be with you on a Herbie Derby Wednesday. Right? So we're gonna get it going. It's a Herbie. It's a what? It's a Herbie Derby Wednesday, folks. Let's go. Let's go, folks. Herbie Derby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Herbie Derby Wednesday. My grandfather, the late great. Come on. So yes, folks, every day, You Can't Hurt Me Mondays, David Goggins, Tyler Durden Tuesdays, shout out to Fight Club, Herbie Derby Wednesdays, where we lift up our greats. I gotta lift up my, you know what I mean, people, and Herbie Derby. This might over here, 99 years young, World War II veteran. It's my grandfather Herbie Derby, my great uncle. Uncle George. This is when Uncle George was at the VA. Uncle George at the VA hospital Okay, so these are some of the greats that I've had in my life, and I lift them up. Lift them up. You know, neither are still with us. Lost Uncle George during the pandemic. 92, 93. And we lost Herbie Derby last year, 99 years young. You can see he has the World War II veteran hat that he would always wear. Just be amazing. He would just be walking my grandfather, and people would just come up to him and shake his hand and say, you know, there's not a lot of those hats left that we have. World War II, Pacific Theater, Little Wissy, Georgia, Rural South. Let's go. Right? We in a moment right now. I'm not, it's tough. Things are going on in the world. Things are escalating. Things are happening. It's frightening. It's challenging. Beyond the day-to-day, right? We got challenges and struggles in our day-to-day. We don't need it from the news or we got it right here, day-to-day, right? I'm trying to make it. Every day can be a struggle, some type of a way. We're trying to make it, folks. You heard me? That's what we're doing. We grind it from day to day, keeping it going. But I always get, these two brothers, 12. I get it confused. I have to double check with mom. 6 boys and 6 girls. 12. Grandfather was born in 1925. Passed away late 1924. Okay? November 2024. Born in 1925 in the rural South. My history, people. Okay? He's born 4 years before the Great Crash. He's 4 years old. Stock market crash. Rural South. Okay? If the Great Depression is bad in America, it's bad. It's unimaginable in the rural South. Okay? And had to endure that. Had to endure challenges and struggles. Comes of age. Go out and serve your country in World War II. Literally, the future of the world in the balance. Comes home from that, okay? Deal with Jim Crow. Civil rights movement. Unimaginable, man. But very much, but we have the history right here. You know what I mean? So these are the two that, right? My mother's generation, my mom's first generation, be able to go to college, graduate, right? Create life. Hey. And then me, Mr. Middle Class, my whole life. What? Where's that come from? There we go. Uncle George and Herbie Derby. That's where it comes from. Our greats. So when I think, hey, particularly right now, it's very different. Things are haven't gotten, but we're looking. We gotta come together. We have to. It's just a lot of things going a lot of different directions. So I gotta be my best. We gotta be our best to get through it. But we look back and we see that greatest generation got through it. And they're called the greatest generation for a reason. Yes. So just love to do it. It's heartfelt. It's bittersweet. I don't mind telling you. I talk to my grandfather every single day. From like when I was 12, 13. Every single day. Because Herbie Derby, you can tell you the Cape Cod Kid is a night owl. I know it's only 8:30 on the left coast. 11:30, we ain't no end in sight. SandCity Sports, Passion Project. We in the building. No end in sight. Hey, tomorrow's a work day. It is what it is. Get a couple hours, get up, get back to the grind. Love to do it. Let's go. But my grandpa, he's night out. So I call, this is when we would always talk. 11:30, 12, it'd be 1 o'clock. He would call me like 1:15 in the morning in his 90. Hey, you ain't called. What's going on? You ain't called. How you doing? You ain't get your check-in. What's good? Every day I was getting great. I had the greatness that I could lock in with. And if I was messing up, he let me know I was messing up. If I was doing what I need to do, he'd let me know. But just to talk, just to get perspective, encouragement. He said, how you doing, champ? Just call me champ. How you doing? When I was a kid. How you doing, champ? Right? So you just grow up feeling like you can do it. I have my struggles now. I got to look back. I can't be held back. I can't be held down. I got too much greatness around me. That's encouraged me to this point. I have to go forward. Herbie Derby Wednesday. Uncle George. So I love to share. Love to share. And so we keep it moving and grooving. Gonna keep it moving and grooving. All right. And we you know what I mean? That was shout out to The Wire. Shout out to My Life Extra, season 4 Amsterdam. In terms of the movie, in terms of the music. Herbie Derby, Uncle George, Herbie Derby Wednesday. Much love, much appreciation, greatest generation all day. You understand? I got problems a lot. I got first world problems. Like I got first world problems. I don't have third world problems. I got first world problems. Okay. They came through some third world problems right here in America. So we can get on with our challenges of the day. All right, folks. We're gonna go over. We're gonna skip the. Okay, we got. All right, let me just double check because we got Cooper. We'll head back to the Diamond. But we got to dive into this W.N.B.A. contract. We're going to dive into this W.N.B.A. contract, which is a big deal. Okay. Let me see if I can get... it's not it. Okay. All right, let's get our... Hold on. That's good art. We got a little delay. That is done. Let's get to this graphic. Got $1 million salaries. Okay. It's not the graphic that I need. All right, we got to maintain the momentum here. No. There's our art right here. We got it. At long last. Come over here, boo-boo. Thank you so much. All right, and let's talk about this W.N.B.A. contract. We're going to have $1 million players. Thrilled to hear Aja Wilson who I ran into at the airport, who was kind enough to take a picture with me after the knockdown, drag out, tremendous WNBA finals, Aces versus Liberty, 5-game thriller with the Liberty succumbing to the Las Vegas Aces. Ran into Asia at the airport, and I said, how you doing? Took a picture. It was a big deal. So let's get our art up on the screen. And let's get into this. SandCity. On the Wednesday check-in. Okay. So, long overdue. Asia getting her, right, respect on the name. Not a more deserving player. Okay. And yeah, get this money up into the millions. Raise the base pay for the other athletes. Okay, let me go hunt down some more statistics. Okay, that's outdated. I just need. Okay, dead air is not helping anybody, right? But going over $1 million, okay. Shout out to Shams. Salary cap starts at $7 million, up $1.5 million from 2025. Supermax starting at $1.4 million. This is crazy. All right, folks. All right, let's shout out to Shams for this is, speaking of revolutions, as we talked about, that seem impossible to begin with and inevitable on the other side of it. These numbers are wild. Shout out to Shams. Okay, I said it. Salary cap is going to start at $7 million. That's up from $1.5 million in 2025. Supermax starting at $1.4 million. It was $250,000 in 2025. $250,000 was the Supermax. Supermax is now $1.4 million. That's $1 million. That's like you took the Supermax, doubled it, and then added $1 million, essentially. You took the previous Supermax, doubled it, and added $1 million. Average salary is going to be $600,000. Is $120,000 previously. So again, $500,000 increase. Quadrupled that number. Minimum salary surpassing $300,000. Minimum salary was $66,000. Average revenue share 20% across the length of the deal. Progress we made in these discussions marks a transformative step forward for players in the league. W.N.B.A. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert told reporters shortly before 3 a.m. I love it. And it's underscoring a shared commitment to the continued growth of the game. It's been a process, but we're very proud to be leading in women's sports, and these players are amazing, and we're going to have an amazing 30th season tip-off in May. What, 30 years of the W.N.B.A. So this is fitting. And I remember, hey, Houston Comets, Cynthia Cooper, Tina Thompson, Lisa Leslie. I remember summer 96, baby. Freshman year, summer. So, big time. So glad for the league, just top to bottom, certainly the players. And now go into this season with vigor, with zest. And again, I feel like the connection, let's make sure people, right? The connection is strong. Remembering those formative years. It was with the NBA guys. Okay, you got to remember those formative years of the league in the 70s and the 80s, tape delay, so on and forth. Okay. Don't forget where you are coming from. All right, so let's go across. Let me just check. Everything is good. Our socials are good. It's a beautiful thing. I appreciate. We're good on the Twitter machine. All right, so concluding thoughts. Hey, and the deal happens going into the NCAA tournament, okay, which is a high point for women's sports, because March Madness on the women's side is tremendous. Gino Ariema, Dawn Staley, right? So many great coaches, great programs. That battle last year, UConn and South Carolina for all the marbles, and Gino's back. Dawn had it for a number of years, and it's good to see Gino. And the year before that, with many injuries, that UConn team pushed Iowa to the brink. There were some tough calls that went against them, but it's gonna be a great tournament. We'll see if anybody UConn's number 1 overall seed, but Dawn Staley's not going anywhere. And this is the future of the W.N.B.A. Players maybe deciding to stay a little bit longer in college. I think that's helpful for everyone, right? Stay, get the NIL, develop. So you're coming into the W.N.B.A. ready to contribute from day one, right? So shout out Aja Wilson, shout out W.N.B.A. players, ownership, commissioner. Breakthrough. It's a breakthrough going into the 30th season. Our socials are good. And let's see. I'm going to pivot now. I'm going to hold some topics. Until next time. Appreciate everybody that's checked in, tuned in, and we're gonna slide over into Slice of Life. We're gonna get over into Slice of Life right now. and go from there. All right, speaking of March Madness, let's get a throwback. Let's get a look at old school Kyrie.
Comes out to Irving.
We talk about Rod Strickland.
Jordan Morgan was trying to complete a three-point play. Here's the steal. Irving taking it on Chanel. Left hand, yes. And turned it around.
Remember, Kyrie was hurt
Second
this
half.
year.
Here's Irving with a three. And shows his outside game right there.
Know what to expect. Once we talked to Coach K, and he said there's no limit. You know, sometimes when a guy comes back from injury, the training staff, the medical staff, the coaches will confer and say, hey, we're going to dictate things.
Irving, who has not made a field goal, puts it up. Now has one. And it comes out of Horn, who's off the bench.
Tough penetration. That's what he does best, I think. We know he can shoot it.
No, Kyrie Irving.
Bench, he had 16.
Just a tough shot maker.
The bench really was important in that 1 point win. Get into the rim again. That's twice now. Great. See how they spread. If you don't have this, you got to kick that.
I just wanted a chance to try it out.
Look at the challenge.
Yes.
Numbers. Look at the big kid around Collier. Yeah. Did he ever? Did he ever?
Well, there's Kyrie Irving with an answer.
Pretty good. 2 offensive rebounds that trip.
But Singler did save it and gets it in Kyrie Irving's hands. Nice.
Irving. Pretty good catch, wasn't it?
Sure was. To the rim, and it comes out to Irving.
Nice little first there.
That was taking it in, and there's his first basket. Kyrie Irving. Jordan Morgan was trying to complete a three-point play. Here's the steal. Irving taking it on Chanel. Left hand, yes.
Just, you know, and y'all can't see me. There's your boy. Right? They, you know, the Utes, they say so-and-so is a bucket. There's just a picture next to him. All right, and we got a right. You get some production issues, and then we hit a dinger. Speaking of which,
I'm willing to say it. I don't know if anyone else has planted their flag on this. He's starting to look a little Kyrie-ish to me. And I know that's sacrilege. Kyrie is like the one of the most skilled guards we've ever had. Ambidextrous, incredible finisher, just like the guy you would create in the lab. There's stuff Acuff does, Tate, that just makes me think of Kyrie as I'm watching him. Is that crazy?
No, I don't think it's crazy. I saw a lot of people talking about Allen Iverson, right? I mean, you got like the Baron Davis comp. I mean, obviously not as explosive. Steve Francis also. Like, there's a lot of guards in the early 2000s that I feel like come to mind, some of the smaller guards. But as far as being a chameleon, I feel like that's what Acuff is. In a game, he can be an engine for you. He can be a creator for you. He can be a spot-up shooter for you. For Calipari, of all people, and obviously he champions his guys quite a bit, but he's been pretty fair in the sense that, like, he is in a top tier of the group of guards that he's had. And that's saying a lot when you go through all those guards. Jamal Murray, SGA, John Wall, Derrick Rose, the list goes on. So for him to be in that conversation says a lot about Acuff. And if you watch him, it's just incredible to watch.
Acuff's like an old school, I can either set guys up or I can get my own thing. And I think he can finish in traffic. The defense is obviously not awesome, but, you know, it's not like Kyrie was an incredible defender.
I really don't see the Derrick Rose, Iverson, incendiary speed type guys for him. I see a cerebral game manager in the vein of a CP3.
I'm willing to say it. I don't know if anyone else has planted their flag on this. He's starting to look a little Kyrie-ish to me. And
just score, can dish it. Kyrie more of a pure scorer. All right, let's take a look at the stars of tomorrow. A lot of hoops. We're going to take a look at the stars of tomorrow. 15. You're hearing from this young man. We got grassroots. This is that grassroots energy. Why? You know, you make the time to get out and ref some of these games because you don't know their names yet. But eye test. Goodness gracious. Okay, so that's Young Lion. Elsewhere, we're going to talk about the Young Lions that balled out here in the Commonwealth State Championship. Avi Lopez here, Central Catholic. Lights out. Okay, and they're playing against Bishop Thean, who I was telling you about. This young man just went crazy. He's always been playing all tournament. Had a heck of a game in the state championship. Number 1 seed, Central Catholic. Heck of a game. You know, one of these, you know, it's just somebody has to lose. Okay, and now show you guys the eventual champions. Brody Bamilla over at Fian. Incredible run.
I gotta dominate. I don't got time to slow down, cause I gotta dominate. Gotta be the best around, cause I gotta dominate. I don't got time for no ground, cause I gotta dominate. I gotta dominate. I don't got time to slow down, cause I gotta dominate. Gotta be the best around, cause I gotta dominate.
That's him. 30 and 20 some odd rebounds. It's gonna be big. I like how they pass the ball back in their half court, you know, just to give him time. Throw it over the top. Central Catholic did not have a big. So it's power and finesse game. Power ended up getting the W, 3-point, really good game. March Madness time, folks. Folks, we in that one shining moment mode right now, folks. Let's hear from the coach at Howard University.
I didn't understand how to build culture. I understood how to follow culture, and there's a huge difference.
It's facts.
I had to learn how to build a culture, and that took some time, and thankfully my man over here, Mr. Davis, was great. It was great. I mean, I don't know how many games we won our first year, 4 or 5. Our next year, we were 1 and whatever before COVID, and we had to shut the season down. But, you know, he was nurturing, he was loving, he was tough when he needed to be, but he was right by my side as a partner. I didn't understand how to build culture. I understood how to follow culture. And there's a huge difference. I had to learn how to build a culture. And that took some time, and thankfully.
Building culture and following culture.
You know, my man over here, Mr. Davis, was great. It was great. I mean, I don't know how many games we won our first year, 4 or 5. Our next year, we were 1 and whatever before COVID, and we had to shut the season down. But, you know, he was nurturing, he was
3
loving,
tournaments in 4
he was
years.
tough when he needed to be, but he was right by my side as a partner. I didn't understand how to build culture. I understood how to follow culture.
All right. Finish with a Hoop Dreams clip. Got the wrong link. Got the right link. Oh my goodness. Let's go.
Joey was one of the top high school players in the province, and he still wasn't getting the respect he deserved.
I was leading scorer in high school. I was like 29, 30 points a game.
I don't know if it was because of the street ball stigma or the jungle ball mentality, but it was tough for Joey in the way he played.
So Joey's graduated high school, and we all knew on like a fundamental basketball level he was going to get a college scholarship. He was going to go play at a top American school, and so we helped him make his college tape.
My name is Joel Haywood. I go to McGee Secondary School. I play point guard for McGee Lions.
I sent my tape to like maybe 10 schools, I think. I got no reply back. Nothing. I got, okay, whatever.
Joey was one of the top high school players in the province, and he still wasn't getting the respect he deserved.
I was leading scorer in high school. I was like 29, 30 points a game.
I don't know if it was because of the street ball stigma or the jungle ball mentality, but it
Handle
was
with
tough for Joey
Care
in the way he
documentary.
So Joey's graduated high school, and we all knew on like a fundamental basketball level he was going to
Check
get
that
a
out.
college scholarship. He was going to go play at a top American school, and so we helped him make his college tape.
My name is Joel Haywood. I go to McGee Secondary School. I play point guard for McGee Lions.
I sent my tape to like maybe 10 schools, I think. I got no reply back. Nothing. I got, okay, whatever.
Joey was one of
The process. Hang in there. What's that doc? Let's get that doc for people. Handle with care. Handle with care. Shout out to the Woods Hole Film Festival, which premiered, which screened the 2 Oscar-winning films in documentary and documentary short. Proud to have that here on the Cape and Islands. Folks, hey, we on the East, baby. We moving over. Just past that midnight to the 19th, so it's a good time as we get into the first day of March Madness. Hey, get your brackets ready. Get yourself ready, okay? Let's finish this week off strong, Thursday, Friday, all right? And keep it moving and grooving into the weekend. Make sure we're good. We are good. Yes, sir. SandCity, get ready to sign off. Appreciate you. Go. I am your host, Hancock Kid, artist from North Andre.